think this could be a faulty one. It's just... Okay.
The white one did come like a little bit busted, as did these three. But as you can see, like some of the caps came with like paint squirted out. It's supposed to have like, this seal is supposed to be like, oh, safe.
Hey, what is up, you guys? It's Dustin, and I'm back with a special guest. Hello.
Paige, hi.
Hi. Happy birthday, you guys. Wish her a happy birthday. She just turned 32.
Thank you.
It has been such a pleasure having her and the kids and her husband Gareth here. They are amazing.
Oh.
I love your kids so much.
Really?
I do. I love them so much.
Oh, that's so exciting.
I'm not calling candy anymore. I'm calling it sweeties.
Sweeties.
As a proper Brit. I've been trying to learn how to like curse, like with British slang.
Like bell end.
Yeah, like bell end.
And
bollocks.
Bollocks.
Bollocks. But I don't think I've got it down that well. But that is obviously not the topic of this video, although we are going to cover a lot of bollocks.
A lot of bollocks today, girl. A lot of bollocks.
So you'd have to be living under a rock if you did not know what has been going on with James Charles for the better part of how many years now? 3 years? 4 years?
Too damn long.
It's been a hot ass minute. James Charles has been in a lot of controversy because all of the alleged underage interactions between him and straight people, it's just been a lot. James Charles has never really stopped. And most recently, he came out with this article that was written that tried to paint him in a better light, and he asked to be uncanceled, to which we all just completely refused.
Yeah, it was by Variety.
Yes.
And the article was absolutely terribly written. It was quite clear it was with an agenda of absolving him of all of his crimes, alleged crimes, just before the launch of his painted collaboration.
Which is what we're going to be talking about today. So I'm sure we're all very familiar with Lipstick Gate and what happened with Jaclyn Hill, and a lot of people have been speculating as to if James Charles was going to have this same issue. I kind of like predicted this or foreseen this coming for James because when he posted the video, him having to urgently change his formula while he was in like production because he was going to be dropping his shit in like a week. I knew that sent up a red flag for me. Kevin James Bennett spoke about it. I did a live stream about it. A lot of people, OG beauty YouTubers, a lot of people that know what they're talking about, like Kevin James Bennett and Marlene Estelle, have chimed in and said that they think that James Charles was going to have an issue.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, here we are. And I think that if one person speaks out, I think it's going to start more people because
it's like a trickle effect.
What we have found and what has came across my For You page is gonna just blow you away. Now, if you remember, James Charles passed out all this PR shit to all these people, Manny, Laura, all these different people, and Manny posted the review of Painted, which we knew he was gonna do to support his alleged predator friend. And people dragged Manny because this cold brew color just was not blending the way it was supposed to blend.
Okay, so what color is cold brew?
It's like Dookie Brown, girl. Dookie Brown. It's this right here.
Oh, brown.
Oh my God. It's this color right here. Yeah. So
Dookie Brown.
when Manny did his first initial review of Painted, a lot of people called him out, and he did a follow-up video because people were saying that the brown was patchy. I just want you guys to keep that in mind because that is also the same colors, pigments, or whatever that people are having issues with that we're going to be discussing today.
Let's try this again, shall we? So I have a lot of comments in this video about the brown paint looking patchy on camera. I'm gonna show you guys in real time how it goes on. No edits, no cuts when applying it. I'm gonna take the Cold Brew by Painted, so you guys can see. So I have vitiligo, right? It's a skin condition where I lose pigment in areas of my face and I have it all around my eyes. And that's why my eyes are so veiny, because I'm missing a lot of pigment there. So when you're applying something like this, which is a cream, it's gonna go on darker where I apply it. And then as I'm blending it outwards, it's going to lighten up. So let's take a little bit of it, not a lot. I mean, if you want to take a lot, absolutely take a lot, but I'm just taking a little bit because I want to just apply it. So where I'm applying it, it is very, pigmented, full coverage. And as I'm going outwards, I'm blending it and it's getting lighter because I'm using lighter pressure and I'm actually blending the shade. It's not that it's patchy, it's that the part where it's a little bit more sheer as I'm blending is showing more of my veins because of my vitiligo. So I know it might have looked patchy on camera, it's very HD on this camera, but I promise you, it's actually not patchy. It's really not. And you can just continuously blend. It's not a hard thing to blend out. You just keep going lighter and lighter with the pressure. So it starts off dark, and then as you go out, it blends out. But as you can see, it's not that it's patchy. It's that my veins, because of my vitiligo, pop through and it seems like, oh, it's kind of like patchy looking, you know? This eye, I'm actually gonna take an eyeshadow that's a brown, just an actual plain eyeshadow, a powder eyeshadow, a brown shade. I'm gonna apply this with no primer, just like I did the paint. And you will see that even eyeshadow can look a little patchy without a base. The reason I'm not using a base for the paints is because I was actually using the paint as my base. So as I'm applying a dark shadow, you can see that as I'm blending it away, it's starting to show my veins and things going through. So a lot of people that were like, oh, when you do your eyeshadow, it doesn't look patchy like that, because I usually have a full coverage base on my eyes because of my vitiligo. So that's kind of why I kind of wanted to explain it, because I think a lot of people were, you know, saying that like either I was not applying the product correctly or it just looked like shit, you know, but it actually isn't. It actually isn't, you know? So once I keep applying this shadow, as you can see, it can be full coverage here, and then it'll look a little more patchy out here because I'm blending it out, but it's not a patchy shade. Does that make sense? Cream, powder. So I hope this gave a little bit more insight on how the product works. It's not that it's patchy. I have missing color on my skin, and you know, I can't help it. And so sometimes it might look patchy. So I apologize for that, but it really is not a patchy product.
What do you think the rush is right now? Because the part that's getting me is that, like, James Charles has been on the internet for God knows how long. The dude's been here since he was literally like 15 years old, right?
Before that, girl.
Creating content for years and years. I think his first scandal was when he was 13 with the Ebola comment, right?
Yeah.
So this kid has been on the internet for so long. Why do you think now, like, after so much damage has been done to his reputation, like, why do you think he's decided, like, now, oh, now I'm going to release a palette. Oh, now I'm going to release a collection.
I think that he thought that everything had been done and over with, that enough time had passed and people were just going to forget about it. But there's people like us that are always going to be vocal about him.
James Charles.
Never.
I know you blocked me. I will never forget. I ain't going to stop forgetting. I ain't going to stop talking about it. You disgust me as a mother. Okay? I'm sorry, I have nothing kind to say about James Charles at all. I will not stop talking about him.
I won't either. And I think that a lot of people have the same attitude, but he's just going to keep on going.
I'm desperate.
Because he's being enabled by all of these creators and these influencers who are just allowing him the pass, right? If people didn't collaborate with him, if there was no money to be made, if he couldn't just skate around the issue by going to red carpet events and all of this thing, if he didn't have a massive, you know, PR machine working behind him, if people such as Pinky Doll weren't collaborating with him like these new influencers where he's there to suck their clout, if people weren't doing all of this, then he would have no platform. People need to start speaking with not only their money, but also their voices. Like, actually just stop watching James Charles content. Stop consuming it. Stop following it. If you want to know anything about James Charles, go to a drama commentary channel. You will find all the information.
Or a news article. He's in the news.
Well, I mean, it depends where you get your news, because according to Variety, he's amazing.
You have a point there. The news, in my opinion, I guess you can't really trust them, especially like these internet journalists. We're not going to get into that. Back to this cold brew thing. So Manny reviewed this, and I came across some TikToks because I was doing some digging, because what we're going to talk about later in this is going to gross you out. So I started digging, and I found this TikTok of this guy named Snatched by Will. Now, he gave this an amazing review, right? And there's no way that this is a good product, because you guys just watch this and we'll talk about it more in a minute.
This is going to be the most brutally honest review, period. This is the new brand by James Charles, Painted. I haven't watched anyone else review this yet because I kind of want to go into this completely blind. And I also bought this with my own money. I wasn't sent this in PR. And yeah, let's just get straight into it. I bought all the paints and the sponge. It came to like £136, which isn't too bad for like literally every single paint. In total, there are 10 paints. I do actually really like the packaging. It actually looks like paints. However, these do look really, really similar to the P. Louise bases. So what is the difference? So P. Louise, you get 15ml for £14.50. And then for James Charles Painted, you get 10ml for £13. I'm going to do a butterfly eye. I'm going to start off with the white paint, and I'm going to sketch out the butterfly first. This is literally just a sketch, but the white, she's white and there's no cracks. Okay, sketch is all done. Now let's do some color. Begin with the yellow, and I'm just going to start this right here Though it's a really hardy colour to make, it has gone a little bit patchy, as you can see. Now using the orange, I mixed the orange and yellow to get this nice ombre effect. Wow, the orange is like, she is vibrant. Now let's do some red. Mix a little bit of the white into the red so I get like a nice ombre effect again. Really loving the fact that I just made my own colour from mixing these colours together. This red is like a proper deep red and she's mattifying so nicely. Just mixed the green and white and I got this really nice pastel khaki colour that I'm going to use to start off this eye. Fucking obsessed with this colour that I just made. This minty green is everything. Now going in with the normal green and I'm just gonna bring this upwards. Time for some blue. This is the shade Blueprint. I actually am excited for this because blue is my favourite colour. I'm gonna add some Pinky Promise. Ooh, this pink is lush. Look at her. Now I'm gonna add some of the purple. This is in the shade Turning Violet. I'm just gonna mix this in to the pink and then we're gonna be done. I'm going to use the shade Ink to go over my sketch. I'm kind of scared because this isn't a liner, but we're going to see if it can be. Bitch, she is dark. I'm just filling out now the wing. She is bleeding a little bit. However, girl, she is black. I have used every single paint. I haven't used Cold Brew yet, and I'm going to use this one here for lip liner. I think this could be a faulty one. It's just, okay, maybe it needs a bit of a shake. But it's hella liquidy.
And girl, that looks like straight doo-doo. That looks like dookie.
Not good.
I think this is meant to be this liquidy. I do like this colour though for lip liner. It's a nice brown. So annoying because I feel like I would use this one the most. Okay, my loves, here is the finished look. I'm really impressed. These paints are fucking bomb and it got me creative. I've not done anything like this in a long time. They dry down matte, they're super vibrant and the pigment is insane. I would say the yellow is a bit meh, but the rest, 10 out of 10. Snatched by Will Approved. Well done, James.
So first and foremost, I don't know how this guy could have given this a good review because that looked gross.
It looked like the formula wasn't like emulsifying properly in the way that it was supposed to.
Dookie. It looked like a little piece of Dookie. It reminds me of that clip from Jeffree Star when he was reviewing the Too Faced or whatever it was.
Yes.
Or the Hula bronzer. Oh, it looks like a little piece of Dookie. So I don't understand why he would have given any of these paints a good review just simply because that looked gross.
You gotta remember though, because I also don't want to like direct any hate towards this content creator because a part of it is like they're up and coming, they're emerging, they're trying to reach out to more brands, they're trying to get their name out of there. So because of that, they may see things as more amazing than they actually are, and it might be because of their impression with working with the brand, speaking to the people behind the scenes, maybe speaking to the CEO. So those can all warp your perspective of how it is that you're going to present a product. So
this person was clearly, obviously very talented. So I mean, no shade to this creator or anything, I get it. But James Charles, like, he knew that he was going to have issues with this because there's another person that was having the same issue.
What, with the same shade?
With the same shade and more. So apparently what's happening, allegedly, is the safety seal is coming off of the actual tube. I don't know from what, if it's swelling. I don't see how that could happen. Yeah, like it would have to be expanding, like the glue would have to be moving. Yeah. That's the only thing logical in my mind that would explain why the safety seal is coming off of these things.
Yeah, there's got to be some kind of gas that's being made inside the container that's allowing it to expand. That's crazy.
Yeah, so I found another TikTok, and I'm not sending any hate to this person either. I'm just putting this in for reference to show you guys what I'm talking about because she had an issue with a product that she purchased. Now, James Charles did comment back to her. We're going to talk about that in a minute, but you guys check out this TikTok.
Moment of truth. I'm so excited. Oh, it's so little. It's so cute. Honestly, I expected this to be so much freaking bigger. Here's the sponge. And, oh, the brushes. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Last but not least, it came with an opener for the paint can and this little postcard. Okay. Ah, get out of here. There they are. Oh, I like the texture of this. As it's painted on it, that's so cool. And then you get 6 brushes and the brush set. The white one did come like a little bit busted, as did these 3. And I was just going to show you that this one was packaged fine, but I guess I squeezed it before I even took the top off, and it got all over. Oh no, I hate to do this, but so because they're so pigmented and long lasting, it was I can't get the rest of this off. So far there's a little bit of a quality issue with the safety seals. Oh, I hate to do this, James, I love you so much. But as you can see, like, some of the caps came with like paint squirted out. It's supposed to have like, this seal is supposed to be like, oh, see? Yeah, I'm bummed. I was gonna do some swatches, but I think I'll hold off for a little bit because I kind of have to get in the shower now. But I will still do the swatches because I'm really interested to see if they're a good product. So stay tuned, follow for more.
I would have been done at the safety
Girl.
being broke, bitch.
Girl. Absolutely not. So you said that James responded to this. What did James say?
So James did respond to this, and he left a comment saying, "Oh my God, what the heck? Sending this to my team right now to look into."
Well, that's one step ahead from Jacqueline.
Second of all, my lipsticks are not moldy. They are not hazardous. They are not contaminated. They're not unsafe for you in any way, shape, or form.
So, I mean, credit where credit is fucking due. Well done, okay? Might have done crazy things to minors, allegedly, but you certainly acted right in this situation.
Still
Congratulations.
more than Jacqueline Hill, because remember, initially when Jacqueline Hill had the issue coming up and people were tweeting to her, she told that girl she had crusty lips.
Crusty lips, girl.
Could you imagine?
It's like the customer's always right, but the customer also has crusty lips. Like, it's your fault, it's your problem. No.
Oh, Jacqueline Hill did everything short of telling that girl she needed to go drink some water, that she was parched. Girl, that's what Jacqueline
she
Hill
told
did.
her to go exfoliate.
That's old, girl. So of course it would not be a James Charles scandal if that was the end of it, because wait, there is more.
Wait, there's more.
Okay, so me and T-Spill were talking, shooting the shit, and she sent me this video by another creator who is a YouTuber that I'm gonna link down below. Her name is Laura Ann, and she posted 2 weeks ago about her experience with Painted. And girl, I'm just gonna show you this before I show you guys how does that make you feel? Do you see?
Post-traumatic stress syndrome, like it's
giving Jacqueline.
Like it's giving
Very much Jacqueline.
Yeah, no, that's not cute.
That, like, they're not twins, but they're cousins.
Oh yeah, no, they're definitely related. There's a family tree going on here.
Oh my God.
I would be interested to know what lab this is, girl, because
for those of you that don't know, it's allegedly this lab called Prisha, or named Prisha. And allegedly they've had issues in the past with contamination. I'm not saying that James's is contaminated. That's for you to decide when you see what I'm about to show you. But I think allegedly it's this lab called Prisha that's in California, because James Charles did something very dumb, and he posted all his lab samples from all the different labs, and then he had this emergency meeting that he made this TikTok for.
Oh yeah.
And the people in the back were wearing Prisha lab suits. So I think it's safe to say that might be who this is. So we're just gonna say allegedly, because I'd be mad too.
No.
But you guys, check out what Laura had to say about her experience with Painted.
So I want to keep this review completely 100 with you guys and show you guys some discrepancies that I found in the formula. For instance, the red shade, there was bits of, I don't know, like this hard, almost plastic material in it. The yellow did have some separation. You can see the oil and the pigment. And then I found this black, it was a pretty big black, like plastic ball or something in the black shade, and it reminded me of the Jacqueline Hill little balls in the lipsticks.
I don't even see anybody from Painted.
Well, I guess if she hasn't made like any kind of formal complaint, then fair enough. How many views does this video have?
9,100 views.
So it's
And
kind
she's
of sadly in that not big enough to care
Yeah, that
area.
sucks. She's actually really talented. I'm gonna
It's clear she's
subscribe to
very
her.
talented. Okay, so there was like two twins. One of them was called Arnell and the other one called Arman. And I think it was Arman who had made a video using these like subculture palettes from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and like the fallout was crazy and they weren't blending. And the thing is that like what happened from there was Anastasia Beverly Hills pretty much just like put a recall on the product, pulled it back, sorted out some issues and put it forward to the public again. And The thing is that like if big companies are doing this, like small companies and like companies such as like, you know, myself and other smaller brands and stuff like that, we can't afford to have these huge
You have to
issues
get it
with our
right the
products
first time.
because we need the brand recognition. We need for people to know us as a company that at least delivers decent quality, right? And with somebody like James Charles, he already has his brand, he already has his name, he already has that kind of recognition. Therefore, they can afford to fuck up on stupid shit
He
like
shouldn't
this.
though.
If you're telling me a smaller brand who is ordering all of their stuff from like, I don't know, a place like China or something like that are able to produce better quality in paints than this, what James Charles is doing is not inventive.
No,
There are several different paints and paint palettes that you can buy that are on the market already.
True.
So what's going to set him apart is his quality and his brand name. And he's fallen on
Apparently not, girl. But I remember what you're talking about. You were definitely talking about the subculture palette because that was kind of like a polarizing thing in the beauty community. Some people really loved it and some people really hated it. The only thing I can think of is the compilation that Shook did of Jeffree Star tapping the brush with the powder, like just going everywhere off into the air.
Now I'm going to knock this off a little bit and let's see if you can see it. Ooh, girl, that just flew all over my damn Gucci.
So, I mean, James Charles, he could have executed this and just blown it out of the park. And I think he probably tried to do that because I do think that James Charles actually does care about the things that he puts his name on. But I also think that he has a very large ego and he thinks that he knows more than he does. I want to know if he actually had like industry leaders helping him, or is this something that he just willy-nilly just
Girl, I could
said,
almost
I'm gonna
bet
do
my
this?
life on the fact that he didn't have industry leaders helping him out with this.
Which is foolish for somebody at James Charles's level to do. He had the money, he had the resources, he could have really knocked this out of the park for people, but here we are. He's went and made a product that is potentially going to hurt people or could possibly hurt people, because imagine like one of those beads going down your face, like you don't know what that is.
Yeah.
We don't know what was in this, and this could just be like a one-off, but like usually with makeup products and things that are mass produced, it's not like that.
Take it to another level. Like recently I've been using One Size by Patrick Starr. Not a fan of Patrick Starr, even in the slightest. Love his fucking products. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
a lot of people say his
They are
products are
so
good.
good. They are so good. So then if you've got another influencer who doesn't really have the same level of brand recognition that you do, and they're able to produce quality that is in stores that people are picking up every single day, do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Like these stores aren't just going to be selling shit for the sake of shit, especially in an oversaturated market like makeup. Do you get what I mean? But he's been able to stand out due to what? Quality.
Because he actually gives a damn. I think there's very few people in the makeup industry that are beauty YouTubers specifically that have a brand that they actually give a fuck about.
Yeah.
I think they think it's cute to have a brand, and that's like their ultimate goal because they think that that's like something people will be into. But I don't think they care. I think Patrick is that's the one thing that sets him apart. He actually genuinely cares and enjoys makeup.
Yeah, 100%. There's very few people who actually can. It always tends to be the people who have that makeup artistry background. You know what I mean? I think about people like Made by Mitchell. He cares about his products. His products are shit hot. Period. Yeah. Why? Because he gives a crap.
And you can say what you want about Jeffree Star, but I think that he's going to put a product out that he knows is going to work. I don't think we would have an issue like this because if you remember, Jeffree Star did have a production issue like this. Remember,
it was quality. Like, there was like that green spore that was inside his clear lip glosses.
Oh, I forgot about that.
He had out in the mystery boxes.
That, and then he had the issue with what he said was like the press, and it had like fibers in it or something.
Yeah.
But at least he actually addressed it. And I would hate to be on the receiving end of that argument as like somebody that was manufacturing a product for him.
Yeah. But then what do? They pull it back. They say, okay, that's not good enough. And they put forward what's, best. So I don't know what's going to happen from here, but I hope he pulls the product if it really is. Like if this is not like an isolated situation or isolated incident, because obviously there's going to be problems. But if it's something that's happening to, I mean, there's too many videos already for my liking.
Yeah. If this was John Cooking, he'd have been ran off the internet.
Oh gosh. And girl, did anyone come back and say John Cookian's products aren't as described, did not perform as described? When he gave you a lipstick, it was a lipstick and it worked.
Kitchen cosmetics, though.
Whether you like the origins of where it came from or not, at least it worked. So.
Well, I don't know where this will go for James. I don't know if this will become a bigger issue, if it's isolated or not. I tend to think when you have one, there's many, because when it's a mass-produced product, it's just a very small amount that's in these tubes.
Yeah.
They made such a big amount. That leaves a lot of room for something to happen.
What do you think about the presentation, girl? Because I'm sorry, a paint box, like a silver paint box, and just the paint's just dashed in the box.
It's giving Home Depot.
Not being funny, you're thinking about like when it's moving in transit, right? It's gonna be knocking all around the sizes. That could be why they are getting contaminated. They're getting contaminated in transit because things are knocking, twisting, pulling.
I think that was like
that makes a lot of sense.
That's not something I would do. That's not how I would pack a product, because it is going to slosh around like that. But it is very much giving Home Depot, Lowe's, and that opener, girl, I hope people aren't paying for that. You can get those for a quarter. A quarter of what would that be in England?
A quarter, that's like 25 cents, right?
Yeah.
That would be like 20p.
20p?
20p.
What's 20 quid? That's $20.
20, yeah.
Okay. But you guys, you'll have to let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. And if you didn't catch my last video, me and Paige are going to be resuming the series that was started by Here for the Tea and Tea Spill all those years ago about Jaclyn Hill. I think it's going to be really, really revealing.
Yeah. And we'll be trying to go in depth. Because if there's one thing that I will do, I will go into the deepest, darkest pits of hell to find what it is I need to find. So
yeah, and we have some very, very good receipts. But you guys, let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. And if you're not subscribed to Paige, I don't know why you're not. Go subscribe to her.
And James Charles, we will never forget what you did.
Yeah, we will never forget what you did.
I'm not forgetting.
Never.
Not today.
Ever.
Not tomorrow.
Not next
ever.
week.
Thank you.
And if you made it this far in this video, leave me, I don't know, the broken heart emoji, because I'm sad that you and...
No, you should have like the paint emoji.
Oh, the palette?
Yeah, the palette emoji. Do that one.
Yeah, do the palette emoji or the broken heart. I prefer the broken heart, but Paige said the palette.
The palette.
But you guys, I hope you all have an amazing day, night, whatever it is when you're watching this, and I will see you all in my next video.
Bye.
Bye, guys.